My name is James Warren Flaming Eagle Mooney. I'm of the Cox Osceola Indian Reservation in Orange Springs, Florida. I'm a Seminole. It's amazing. You figure I was sentenced to prison on a life sentence that I couldn't see no end to, you know.
My husband, Paul, is a great guy. A lot of people love him. And for many years, that's how you would have described him. But if you could have gotten me on a deeper level talking about him, what I would have said, well, is deep down, Paul's unhappy.
I grew up all my life being a very angry person. And then when I was married to my first husband, it didn't work out because of that seething anger underneath everything. And then after we were divorced, it spilled out onto my children since I was raising them by myself.
He was even in a place where I was very frightened for him at times. I know at one point he'd considered suicide.
I couldn't express the feelings of shame and embarrassment and anger that I had, so I was just going to let it roil me up and boil inside of me. But I sat and I said, that's not what I want to do.
At the age of 4, my grandmother and my grandfather saved my life by doing a sweat lodge ceremony. At the age of 43, I was dedicated by my tribal chief to be a pipe carrier with a mandate that I can never refuse anyone.
Oklevueha Native American Church provides Native American ceremonies for people whose lives are not working for them. Drug addicts, people who have been sexually abused or physically abused or emotionally abused, people who are severely depressed or angry, people who are bipolar, people who have physical ailments like epilepsy. Those people come to us, and when they come, we provide a community of people that will become their friends and that will help them along their journey. And I think the most important piece of information that we provide is that each of us are incredibly powerful, and that we have made certain choices in our lives which led us down one road. And when people understand how powerful they are, that it was their own choices that led them down that road, they get it that they can make another choice now and choose a different way to live. And I have seen thousands of lives changed for the better as a result of that.
My wife and I formulated Oklevueha Native American Church, and our dedication is to strengthen families and to eliminate recidivism within the prison system.
You know, we say all the time, it takes a lot of courage to come into these ceremonies. And I really believe that the reason is because it takes a lot of courage to look at yourself.
Most of it was sexual abuse when I was a child, and I just never talked about it.
I sat for a while, let the feelings go, and then went to him and said, what you said made me angry, and I don't want you to do that. And that was the lesson. Because all my life, I just held on to the anger. And all the time I just wanted to say, stop doing this, because I don't like it, and it makes me angry. And so I said it to him, and it made me feel really good to be able to do that. And I think that was really the lesson, which happened a couple of days later, which is the amazing thing about this path, is the way it works. I mean, that's what I had to learn to do.
We stop cycles that don't serve us, that don't serve our generation, and be they substance abuse, sexual abuse, all of those things that create negative situations. I believe we stop those cycles. We have the power within each of us to stop those cycles, see what we're doing, and not pass it on to the next generation.
The ceremonies were not pleasant experiences for me. They were very, very hard.
They have to be physically hard. They have to be overwhelming so that people will then come up against themselves enough to put their own walls down. The emotional walls that they have built up as a result of anger and depression, whatever abuse they have suffered as kids, those walls, those defenses are natural. But in an overwhelming situation, when there's no place you can go, you put them down. When people are able to put their defenses down, to put their fight or flight response away, they begin to see themselves from a different perspective, which opens them up to change.
The other thing is about getting together in a circle because we can see each other for who we are. And I see it as sometimes we just help remind each other the truth of who we are, not those lies that that person is carrying within them. It's all about breaking away those cycles, breaking away those lies, and getting to the truth, because the truth is what helps us to be able to walk in joy. We're very powerful beings. We forget that we're gods.
I got remarried. We found the ceremonies together, my husband and I cannot believe the change. We were able to lay down the things that were making us unhappy both, and able to find the peace and the joy that I had absolutely no idea was possible in this life.
This is a great gift to me that Paul got out of these ceremonies. He changed completely. He went from having a belief that his cup was half full to feeling absolutely convinced that it was overflowing. He came home from the ceremony and apologized to each person in our family. And it wasn't just the outcome of a great, powerful night in a teepee. It was 2 years ago. It was more than 2 years ago. And he's stayed with that spirit ever since.
To me, to be here is a miracle, still for me today, because I know where I was. And by doing all the ceremonies, that where I am now, that this works.
Again, it just makes me more, every ceremony just makes me appreciate my Heavenly Father, my parents, my family, and all the people that I have around me in my life. And it just makes me so excited to live and to breathe and to wake up every morning and know that I have a brand new day that I can start again, and there's just endless possibilities in my life.